Chapter 52. Listen and repeat. Conversation. What should she save? She ought to save some money. What ought she to save? She should save some money. What should she do? She ought to go on a diet. What ought she to do? She should go on a diet. What shouldn't she eat? She ought not to eat sweets. What ought she not to eat? She shouldn't eat sweets. What kind of work shouldn't he do? He ought not to do such dangerous work. What kind of work ought he not to do? He shouldn't do such dangerous work. Why is the girl's flat convenient? It has a central location. What about getting around? They're able to get around easily. How far are they from the park? They're 4 blocks from the park. How fast can they get to the park? They're able to get there in 10 minutes. Where are there a lot of shops? There are a lot of shops on the ground floor. When can they go shopping? They're able to go shopping on the way home from work. What are they near? They're near a bus route and an underground line. Where can they go? They can go anywhere without any trouble. Is Liz very energetic? No, she isn't. She's rather lazy. What won't she do? She won't get up in the morning. Who wakes her up? Diane always wakes her up. What won't she do? She won't pick up her clothes. How does her room look? It's always untidy. What does she do well? She's a wonderful cook. How do her meals taste? They always taste delicious. What won't she do in the kitchen? She won't clean up the pots and pans. What does she refuse to do? She refuses to pick up her clothes. What does she refuse to do? She refuses to clean up the pots and pans. What won't she do? She won't clean up the pots and pans. Note, the verb to taste, like to smell, can be used transitively or intransitively. In this second use, it is followed by an adjective that specifies the kind of flavor of the thing mentioned. Example, her meals always taste delicious equals, her meals are always delicious to taste. Vocabulary. Able. Across, preposition. Anything. Anywhere. Central, adjective. Cook, noun. Delicious. Diet. Electricity. Energetic. Gas. Ground floor, noun. Whole, noun. Like, preposition. Line, noun. Location, necessary. Pan, noun. Pipe, noun. Pot, noun. Root, noun. Saving, noun. Savings, plural. Sky, noun. Such, adjective. Sweet, noun. Tidy, adjective. Underground, adverb. Untidy. Wire, noun. Without, preposition. Wonderful, adjective. Verbs. To announce. To be able. To clean up. To look like. To open up. To pick up. To refuse. To seem. To take out. To taste. To tear. Tore. Torn. To tear down. To tear up. Explanations. Diet. This noun is preceded by the preposition on in expressions such as to be on a diet equals to be on a diet, to go on a diet equals to begin a diet. The noun diet is always preceded by the indefinite article. Such. This word, always used as an adjective, can emphasize the meaning of an attributive adjective, one that precedes a noun. So and such have similar meanings. So usually precedes an adverb or a predicative adjective, while such always precedes an attributive adjective. Example, I've never had such a busy day. Without. This preposition is the negative equivalent of with. It introduces nouns determined by the article or any series terms, not no series. It also precedes pronouns directly. Example, he went out without an umbrella. Slash, they're going to the cinema without us. To clean up. The adverb up can form many phrasal verbs and may have an intensive meaning. It expresses the completion of the action. Example, the children have eaten up the cake. To look, slash, to seem. Both verbs mean to appear or to seem. To look refers to visible appearance, while to seem refers to the speaker's impression. Both can be followed by a noun or adjective in predicative position. Example, he looks ill, but he isn't. Slash, Mary seems a sweet girl. Slash, he seemed very old to me. To look like means to appear similar to or to resemble. Example, Tom looks like his father. Both verbs can also be used impersonally with it as subject. Example, it seems to me that someone is calling. Reading. They never seem to finish the city. Everywhere you go, there's construction work. They're always tearing up the streets or building another new office block. All the wires for the telephones and the pipes for gas and electricity are underground. They're always opening up the street and taking out wires and pipes. Is it necessary work? Do they have to leave those big holes in the street? I don't know, and I don't think anyone else knows either. Just last week, they tore down the building across the street from my office. It looked like a perfectly good building to me, but one day it was there, and the next day it wasn't. It was nice to see the sky for a few days, but I won't be able to see it much longer. They're going to build a bigger and more modern building. For a year, there will be noise and holes in the street. Then one day the boss will announce that we're all going to move across the street into that new building. And today it's just a hole in the ground. Notes. The phrasal verb to tear up means to break up, to dig up. The verb to build means to construct. Across the street means on the opposite side of the street. Much longer equals for a longer time. To be able to. He can speak English, but he can't write it very well. He's able to speak English, but he isn't able to write it very well. He could play the piano when he was 5. He was able to play the piano when he was 5. Our baby will be able to walk in a few weeks. This week, Tom hasn't been able to leave the house because he has been ill. Explanation. In English, the ability or skill to do something can be expressed not only with the modal auxiliary can, but also with the verbal expression to be able to. This expression behaves, in all forms, affirmative, negative, interrogative, like the verb to be in any tense. In the present and past tenses, can is generally preferred, but to be able to is also possible. Both can and to be able to can indicate success achieved in a single action or specific situation. Example, Alma was able to find a new job. The expression to be able to is used in all tenses where can, as a defective verb, cannot be conjugated. For example, future, present perfect, etc. Auxiliary verbs. Won't. My husband won't look for a safer job. My husband refuses to look for a safer job. They won't listen to me. They refuse to listen to me. As we have already seen, the negative form of the modal auxiliary will not/won't, besides being used to form the negative future, also expresses refusal or negative intention. In these meanings, it can be replaced by the verb to refuse, followed by to plus infinitive. Infinitive clause as subject. It's better to be early. It's dangerous to drive fast in traffic. When the subject of a sentence, whose predicate usually consists of to be, is an entire infinitive phrase, to plus verb, the predicate is preferably preceded by the impersonal pronoun it, while the infinitive phrase follows it. Thus, the sentence, "It's dangerous to drive fast in traffic," corresponds to drive fast in traffic is dangerous." The first form is much more common than the second. Comprehension exercise 1. They never seem to finish the city. They don't ever seem to finish the city. 2. There's construction work everywhere you go. 3. They're always tearing up the streets. 4. They're always building another new office block. 5. All the wires for the telephones and the pipes for gas and electricity are underground. 6. They're always opening up the street. 7. They're always taking out wires and pipes. 8. They leave big holes in the streets. 9. They tore down the building across the street just last week. 10. They tore it down fast. 11. It was nice to see the sky for a few days. 12. They're going to build a bigger and more modern building. 13. There will be noise and holes in the street for a year. 14. The boss will announce that they're all going to move across the street into that new building. 15. There's just a hole in the ground there now.